No way. It's alive! Oh, sorry. Hello? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Is it working? I haven't done this in so long. I think it's been like 7 months. Guess what? It seems to be working. Welcome back. We're here. We're on the bike again. Got it up and running. It was a pretty interesting... where do I begin? So, before I start today's video, I want to give huge thanks to the people who have been supporting the channel for like the last 7 months while I wasn't able to make any videos. Well, it's a long story. So, as you guys may or may not be aware of, let me get some hair out of my eyes. Ugh. Okay. You may or may not be aware, my bike was stolen from me about 7 months ago, just a couple days after I uploaded that video, my last video about tower moments. And it was extremely ironic because I was just spending that entire ride talking about how life happens, and you know, those a lot of the times are signs that the change you're going towards or the change you're looking for is right around the corner, and it should be seen as a good thing, as a good challenge, because you will grow as a person, blah blah blah. You guys can watch that video if you want to. I think it was a pretty cool one. But right after that happened, my bike got stolen and my goals came crumbling down. Oh, it's just the timing is too perfect. So it was kind of depressing, I'm not gonna lie. The last 7 months I definitely fell into a whim of depression, a hole, if you will. But I don't know, I kind of feel like I've had the strength to not really dive down, if you know what I mean. Like, I've been down there before, and I know a lot of you may have as well. And as life goes, as you learn things, you kind of gain the ability, as long as you're actively trying to build yourself to be stronger and better in whichever way possible, you tend to gain the ability to pull yourself out of those ruts a lot easier than normal. Like your new normal, your new foundation becomes awesome, you know what I mean? And the dips still happen, and they happen to everybody because life always happens. It keeps moving. It won't wait for you to have everything perfect, right? But yeah, so all this happened, and I'll be honest, I kind of gave up. I'm not gonna lie, I gave up. I was under the weather about not being able to I don't know how to go about it. But let's see here. The bike got stolen. I'm only going to talk about this on this video because from this day on it never happened. Okay, the bike got stolen, and I did get it back, so I'm very grateful for getting it back. But it wouldn't start, and you guys may have seen my short or whatever that I put on that. I was going to record a lot more of the process of trying to figure it out, but I really like the series of events following this really kind of messed with my mind. I set the plan to fix it, and I was going to test things, you know, check for, you know, fuses, relays, check the ignition, do all these things, and learn about the bike as I do it. I was going to use it as a learning experience, a growing experience, and as just, you know, things that I can share with you guys, and get everything set up and ready to go. And then I get my hand stuck in one of our sealing machines at work. I had uploaded a video about that but I took it down because I don't want to be whining about life on my channel, because that's the exact opposite of the vibe that I want here. I want this to be growth and consistency. I don't want it to be whining about things happening, because things happen all the time, and enough people whine, they can do all the whining for us. Let them whine for us. Let's just be happy and enjoy life, you know. But yeah, I got my hand stuck in the machine. It was pretty bad. It was a 400-degree sealing wire that seals plastic around our products that we run through our factory. Burnt all the way down. It's a full thickness, 3rd-degree burn all the way down to the bone on my thumb finger, my pointer finger, and the middle finger. And it was it didn't hurt, thank God, because it was so hot that it just killed all the nerve endings immediately. So it numbed it, instantly numbed it, and I didn't feel any pain, so that was great. But I lost mobility in my hand, and the last thing I needed to do when I had these open burn wounds and not being able to move my fingers and stuff would be to be getting it all greasy and dirty working on my motorcycle. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it'll give me some time to think about it and to prepare or whatever. And then like a couple days later, somebody backs into my car, and had to go through the whole ordeal with the insurance of trying to get it taken care of. Then I had no transportation at all for a while, because, you know, I just have my car and my motorcycle. Motorcycle's down, car was in the shop, you know, in the shop for about, I think, a little over a month, actually. Not trying to like brag or anything, but, you know, Maseratis, they don't, in this area where I live, it's really difficult to get parts for. I love the car, it's great, but when something happens to it, you got to be willing to get rid of it for a couple months, because it's going to take that long just to be able to figure out how to go about fixing it, you know? So it takes time. If I lived somewhere closer to like a dealership or something for those vehicles, it'd be a lot faster, but I don't. But yeah, so that happened, and throughout that, it was like the course of like a couple months. Then it started getting into winter and getting really cold and everything, and I just, my motivation went down, like really bad. Like it was pretty bad, but not enough to cause any like long-lasting, you know, issues and stuff. I don't know. It's just my motivation tanked, and it's understandable, you know, because things happen. But I was, like I said, it was just the irony, the timing. That's all I'm gonna say about the story, because I don't really care. The timing was just too perfect, because I was just talking about how these things will happen right when you're about to reach a goal. My goal has been to get the 1,000 subs on my channel so I can monetize, not because I want you guys to watch all these ads, and not because I want to like sell out or anything like that, but it would be really cool if like I can ride my motorcycle around and my channel could pay for the gas, you know? That'd be pretty sick. I think that'd be awesome. And like, to be honest, the same goes for all the other creators, the other moto vloggers and stuff. I really want you all to reach your goals too, because like, how cool would it be to be able to be out here inspiring people to get on the road and be safe and not dumb. Don't be dumb. To be safe and have fun, and then just bring joy to people's lives in that way. I think that'd be pretty cool, and to be able to do that, you know, and make a career out of it would be just the icing on the cake. It's awesome just to be out here doing it, but my goal was to be able to make a little bit of money doing it too. Again, not because of greed or anything like that. I'm gonna be driving circles today. I haven't had my bike in a while. This is my first ride back, and I'm kind of just familiarizing myself, so I'm just making big circles, hoping that everything goes well and it doesn't shut off and stuff. But yeah, so I already know the timing. That all happened. But again, I do want to say thank you guys, because while I was gone, I did pass over that goal, even though I hadn't uploaded anything, and I just can't understand why. I don't get it. You guys are too kind. I don't feel like I deserve it, you know what I mean? But thank you. I'm definitely grateful for that, because that one single fact, like you guys just being there regardless, was a huge help. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Huge help in the last 7 months. Yeah. So I don't want you guys to feel bad about me, about anything, because of the things that were going on. That's not the case. That's not the point. That's not what I want. I want to just get out here, start riding again, and just share my experience with you guys, and hopefully keep inspiring others to get on the road on 2 wheels, and just, I don't know, find a new, happier chapter of their life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something. Of course, if you're not into it, you're not into it. That's fine. But if this is something that's been kind of itching at the back of your mind, man, I'll tell you, the 650 is a great place to start. This thing is, ooh, woo, it feels good. And you get that wind. And you know, there's something about riding a motorcycle, which a lot of you that do probably will understand and agree with. When you are driving in a car to go somewhere, the memorable part is the place you're at, like the place you're going. Like, say you're driving to the beach, and then like a couple weeks later you remember the beach, right? If you were to ride your motorcycle to the beach, a couple weeks later, you remember every single corner. You remember all the smells of the trees, and unfortunately the cow manure, and you know, you remember all of that, all the corners, all the straight bits, all the cars that were passing around, and the beach. You remember all of it, the whole trip, because when you're riding around on the motorcycle, I don't know what it is, but you're just so zoned into the journey, and oh man, is it fulfilling. If that doesn't sell it, I don't know what will. But yeah, so I'm gonna make one more little circle here. I am heading to the gym, back on the old schedule. Riding my bike, recording a video, and heading to the gym and going to work. Heck yeah. Except for maybe I could get a cooler job one of these times. Then it would be even better. I do have my certification now. That is one thing that did happen while I was gone. There is good in this. The best part is we're on the bike. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna wrap up the whole story by telling you what happened. The good part is I did get my certification to be a personal trainer. So now, if I can stop being a scared little B word, I can actually go start working as a personal trainer. I can actually work on fitness as my thing, and that'd be really cool, because I love the gym. It has been probably one of the biggest positive changes of my life was starting to go to the gym. It has been great. Oh man. And then, like, the first couple months was terrible. I hated it, but the longer I went, the more crazy I got. And I think it's that insanity that makes me just love it so much. It might be all the pre-workout too. I'm pretty sure there's some addiction in there. I don't know. But hey, anyways, wrap up the story and then wrap up the video, because I don't know if my camera is still recording or not. So, like, yesterday, I just woke up, normal day, kind of just like blah. I don't know what to do. It's the weekend. I have no plans for the weekend anymore. Don't know what to do. Brother gets home from work and was like, yeah, I don't really feel like going and pushing weights around. He works long hours and stuff, so we decided we'd just go drive around. And I'm like, while we were driving around, I'm like, hey, I saw a Supermoto for sale at Medford Power Sports, and it is beautiful. It's a Kawasaki I don't know what their abbreviations are, KXR, K300, something like that. And I was thinking, man, the gas mileage, it's got street tires on it, you could do the wheelies. Oh, it'd be so fun. And so we decided to go look at it, and you know, just for something to do. while I was there, I decided, you know, I've called people and I've asked all these questions about my bike and I just could not find an answer. Everybody was telling me, you're gonna have to change your ignition, it's gonna probably cost you like $1,000 and you're gonna have to bring it to a shop and blah blah blah. And I didn't have the money to do that because, you know, the incident with the car took a lot of my savings away, so I didn't have the savings set aside to fix the bike. Blah blah blah, whatever. Wham, you know, whoa, wham. I'm gonna cry about it. Nah, just kidding. But while I'm down there, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just talk to them about the situation and stuff. And they're like, yeah, it's probably the ignition, but you know, I could have sworn like the technician guy was saying, yeah, there's other fuses that you really have to kind of dig in to get to, and stuff. And he said it probably would be a good idea to look at those first, just in case, because a $5 fuse you get a case of like 15 fuses for $5, so it's like not even that. It's like less than, it's like a 50 cent, it's like a 40 cent, like a 35 cent fuse, you know, something like that. You get something like that, and if that fixes the problem, it is, you know, infinitely better than tearing apart, grinding out the ignition and replacing the ignition and then having like just, you know, normal bolts in there that have no safety, or you know what I mean. It's just the process. You have to grind things out, you have to drill things out, you got to change things and replace it with parts that don't belong there. And I didn't want that idea of having a bike with a aftermarket ignition in it, because it just screams stolen, you know. It just, nah, I didn't like that. I just didn't like that. I would rather get a new bike, which is why I was looking at the Supermoto. I was thinking I would finance that so I can just get out here and be on the road and make videos again for you guys. Anyways, I'm rambling. Gosh darn it, I do this all the time. So while I was there, we were talking about it, and he goes ahead and prints out some ballooned out pictures and points out the electrical box. There's an electrical box that leads up to the starter, and it's like right in line right before the starter, and he was saying it could be this, because when you try to turn it on, you get nothing. You press the start button, it doesn't click over, you get nothing. But the battery checks out, you know, you still got your voltage, you still got your amperage and everything. So he said it could be that. It's a little bit hard to find, a little bit difficult to get to. So he printed out those ballooned out parts pictures. You know, everybody who, you know, looked for parts for vehicles or bikes has seen one of those. Like the diagrams that have everything ballooned out and it has lines pointing to where it goes and stuff. And he circled it and said, find this, there's 2 fuses on it, check those, and if it's not those, it's the ignition. And so I found it, and I pulled out the first one. There's 2 of them, one on the top, one on the bottom. I pulled out the bottom one, and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It didn't break, and I'm just like, my hope. I had hope for like 30 minutes driving home that I might be able to fix this without having to change the ignition. And that just disappeared. I'm like, okay, I got one more fuse. It's a 50-50 chance. Either it's going to be ignition or a fuse. Here we go. I pulled it out, and I'm kind of looking at it. Yeah, it looks fine. But then I held it up in the light, and I'm like, wait a minute. Excuse me. It's broken. Oh gosh darn, I tell you what, that's the most exciting broken fuse I have ever found in my life. But of course there is still that back of my mind saying like, there's no way it's this easy. I'm gonna get a new fuse for it and it's still not gonna work, so whatever. Anyways, drive down to O'Reilly's, pick up like $4.99, pick up a box of those fuses, and then take it home. I plug it in, and you guys will see this because I recorded some of these things on my phone because I was just so excited. I turn the key, the dash comes on, I press the button, and it doesn't start, but it goes click.
Yeah, it's in your
Oh, that click was so good, so good. it's trying. It was trying to turn over, but it's been sitting for so long. We were thinking, oh, the battery's dead. I think what we needed actually was to cycle some fuel through it, because we did try to push start a little bit and it just wasn't having it. But in the process of doing that, you're turning over the motor and everything, and you're cycling a little bit of fuel through. And I'm thinking it didn't have any fuel in there. It wasn't catching anything, so it wasn't starting the cycle, because the clicker was going, the spark plugs were going, everything was going, but it just wasn't starting. But anyway, so we pushed it around a little bit, and then right before we were gonna say, oh, we gotta probably take the battery out and maybe go get it charged or something, I tried to start it one more time, and oh my gosh, did I wet myself. Whoo, man, I had some creamy britches. I'm just kidding, I did not. That's kind of gross. I was super excited because the bike started up, and here we are. And in normal fashion, I have made a video that's way too long, just because I'm excited to be back. Anyways, you guys, I'm very, 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 very grateful to be back. Ready to get back on the road just in time for the summertime, and it feels good to be riding my motorcycle again. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support that you have given me over the last like 7 months since my last video. For some reason, you guys are still here making comments and stuff, and I don't understand it. I thought I was crazy, but clearly it's not me. No, I'm just kidding. Please stop. Okay, good. Anyways, yes, thank you guys. I'm gonna wrap this up, turn it off. Again, I don't even know if my camera is on still. I sure hope so. It looks like I saw, yeah, I do see a little red light, so I think we're good. You guys are awesome. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure. It has been probably the longest, darkest 7 months. Just kidding, it hasn't been. You guys aren't going to hear about any of that stuff, because again, I don't want to whine about it. There's nothing to whine about, because we're sitting here today riding around, making another video. Everything's back to normal. It's all good for the time being. We'll see what happens. Anyways, you guys stay safe on the road. Get out there, because the weather is getting good. If you guys like the video, please like the video. If you don't like it, please dislike the video. And if you're so inclined to, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It costs free $99, and it's probably one of the best ways to support your fellow creators and motorcyclists. Anyways, I think I've been gone for so long, I don't know how to do this. I'm being kind of cringy, so I apologize. Anyway, see y'all later. Peace.